Hi, this is a video on researching future colleges. And as 12th graders, and right now I presented this live at the success session to our 12th graders in late March. But this is a video that you can use at any point if you want to see how to look at a university website and find out the academic information from the school about programs that you might be interested in, because that's really where you can fine tune the credits that you're choosing to maximize credit transfer. Along with this video, there's a handout, and it was given out at the success session, and I will make sure there's a link to it on the same page that has this video that you can view. So I'm going to read a little bit from the handout. You don't have that right in front of you right now, but one of the questions, or several of the questions at the top, included why is it important to research colleges, and in particular to really start researching colleges at the end of 12th grade. First of all, where you go after SC4. Because number one, it's another and your first really big investment in time and money. It's very important. It's actually one of the biggest investments you'll make in your life, your college education. And even though part of it has been covered by being a Blue Water Middle College student, there's still a lot of financial outlay to go. It's a very valuable investment, but it is a big investment, so you want to make the best decision possible. Also, if you are in 12th grade, and in particular you're winding up this school year, you're going to be applying to schools as early as August. So that's just about 4 or 5 months away. And if not in August, probably in September, October, or November, assuming you are planning to go on to a 4-year college or university. So this is coming up fairly quickly now. It's time to really dig in and see what schools offer what academic programs. And then even more pressing than that is, and this relates to the success session, and I'm recording it now just about 2 weeks before, or a week and a half actually, before SC4 registration opens up for fall courses. So if you can identify at a college or university the courses you will need in just about a year and a half when you enroll there, then you can pick courses in your final year as a middle college student that will transfer and help you with your program. Otherwise, you're just guessing. You're taking courses that you kind of hope will transfer, but you're not sure. So good research now will save you literally thousands of dollars. So there's a lot of reasons to stay aware and see what we're doing here as I describe how to get to a university website and dig into the academic part of it. I'm not going to spend time on application and so on. That we'll talk about early in year grade 13. This is going to be on how to dig down into an academic program. I'm only going to show one example, I think just one on this video to keep it relatively short. And it's probably not going to be the major you're interested in, but you'll see how it works. So what should you be looking for when you get to a university website? And this happens to be Oakland University. We have a fair amount of our graduates attend Oakland. It's a great university. It offers a lot, and it's one of the closest large universities to St. Clair County and the Port Huron area. So, and it really is a good school if you want a lot of credits to transfer. They have nice transfer guides, as you'll see in a bit. So they try to make it helpful for students coming from a community college. So what you should be looking for certainly are schools that provide a degree or a major in what you want. Now we'll talk about what that word major means in just a little bit. But obviously going to a school that has a football team you like or a basketball team that makes the Final Four is not a very good idea if it doesn't offer a solid program in what you want to study. You want to look for specific information on the degree requirements and the major requirements, if you will. That's like a subpart of the degree. We'll talk about that in a bit. You want to look at credit transfer information. Some schools like Oakland have really great transfer guides. No matter what degree you're pursuing, it has a specific guide that you can look at that says, all right, if you're at St. Clair County Community College, here are the courses that will transfer. If you're at a different community college, it's going to be different courses. So very helpful if they have the transfer guides. I'll show you just briefly how easy it is to schedule an official visit to the campus. Most of them now, I think you can schedule it online, but if not, just call the school. And the final thing is just being able to contact someone at this new university, and you can do that anytime. You don't have to wait until after you've applied. You can start making contacts and asking questions now. Okay, so those are some of the things. They're on the handout. So just either now or after the video, you can print out the handout or take a look at it and see these things so you don't have to write this all down. So first of all, what's a good way of finding a school like Oakland University that offers something you're interested in? So I'm actually going to open up a new tab, and I'm going to go to a site called Petersons.com. Now, I will say that Career Cruising, if you still have your login information, is a great way of digging into the careers you've put into your EDP, or careers you've identified in Career Cruising. And there's a section in Career Cruising called Education. When you click on that, there will be a section that says it lists several programs that can help you, get to that career. And then when you click on those, it actually gets you into the college search tool. Okay, so I'm not going to show you Career Cruising right now. This is a site, Petersons.com. That's its own site, but it uses the same basic information as Career Cruising. So it's Petersons.com. Again, that's on the handout. It is a site that it's a commercial site. In other words, the universities and things, they might pay to be specially featured when you do a search. But anyway, so keep that in mind. But they don't ask you for any money to use the service, and I believe the information that they provide is accurate. So when you get to the main page, it offers other things. There's scholarship searches and things like that. But we're going to focus on finding a college for an academic reason, okay? And we're going to use accounting as a sample, all right? If you're going to go for a degree in accounting, a bachelor's degree or higher, we'll use that as our example. So right now we're set up at a search box where we want to know schools and programs. And this is an important new term, undergraduate programs. Now, an undergraduate program is a program of study leading to a bachelor's degree, a 4-year degree, if you will. So right now, you guys are undergraduates. You have not earned a bachelor's degree yet. Once you've earned your bachelor's degree, then you might search for colleges and for graduate schools or graduate studies, like a master's degree, a PhD, a medical doctor program, or something like that. But right now, we want to stay in the undergraduate section, okay? I'm going to type in accounting. I'm going to type it in properly, and we're going to click search. And we'll see schools show up, and this is a nationwide search right now. So if you look at the number right here, there's over 3,000 schools that have accounting programs that come up in the search. And accounting is pretty common, so most universities and colleges are going to have an accounting program. One thing I want you to see at Petersons, you'll see some of these schools come up as featured. They probably paid the site a little bit of money to be a featured site. So when you scroll down, you'll start to see ones that are not featured and that come up in the search. Now, 3,000 is way too much for me, and let's say I know I want to stay in Michigan. Off to the left, you can narrow your search a little bit. I want an on-campus program. I'm going for a 4-year degree, so I'm going to add that filter, and now it cut the number of programs in half. So a lot of those we were seeing were probably online programs or maybe associate degree programs. The next thing I'm going to narrow it down with is by state. Okay, I only want schools in Michigan. You can go out of state if you want, but it generally is going to cost you a little more, especially at the private school or the public schools, because you'll be charged out of state tuition rates. So what we did now, we went down from, was it 1,400 to 48 schools now. That's still a lot. Now, if you look down here, you might see some familiar names start to show up because these are Michigan schools. Hillsdale College is showing up as featured. Now, Hillsdale's a fine school. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's there at the top because they probably paid Petersons.com money to show up earlier. Okay? So Lawrence Tech, you might have heard of Aquinas, Wayne State University, and then it gets down to schools that are not featured. Again, can be good schools, but there are other ways you can filter this. I'm not going to use any more right now. I just really want to show you, how this works. But if you look off to the left, you can sort it by, whether you want a small school with less than 2,000 students, or you don't care. You could handle Central Michigan or Michigan State, so you want 20,000 students or more. You're likely to have a bigger, better football program if there's more students, although that's not always the case. But let's dive down to one. I'm actually going to go to Oakland University, which I think should be one of them listed. And there's Michigan Tech. So you can see so many schools have accounting programs. So then you have to kind of say, all right, which one do I want to go to? Okay, so I'm going to go to Oakland because we're going to use that as one of our sample schools. And we're still in Petersons.com site. We're not shifting over to Oakland University yet, but I just want to show you what Petersons can provide. Whatever school you click on, you're going to get this little information box. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this. And you'll just get some real quick data on the school. Certainly the type, it's a public, it's not private. It's in a suburban area, suburb of Detroit. The ratio of women to men. And just so you know, that's usually the case. Usually more women to male or men students. Total number of students, less than 20,000, but more than 10,000. So it's a pretty good size university. The tuition is relatively inexpensive compared to other schools across the state. A lot of them are similar, but Oakland is not that expensive compared to a lot of other schools. The acceptance rate around 80%. In other words, 4 out of every 5 students that applies is accepted, is what they're saying. So you can find out more information if you then scroll down. So right now we're in the majors and degrees section. It looks like it's in alphabetical, so area and ethnic studies, that's those types of programs, and then the biological, and the more, if we click more, we're going to see them all laid out, and eventually we would see accounting. Okay, there's other things. Again, not going to look at this today, but it's a real handy way of finding out, the admissions criteria to get in, the tuition, a little more details on that, the student body, campus life, etc. Okay, so let's say you narrow it down, you get some good ideas, and you say, you know what, Oakland is one of the schools that I think I'd like to attend. So that's a way of finding schools that have the programs that you want. Now, the next thing to look for as you research the colleges and universities is to consider the major or the minor, if you will, and the bachelor's degree they offer. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close out of Petersons.com and go back to the Oakland University website. Okay, I'm guessing there is a link there somehow, but if not, just Google the university name and make sure you're at their website, the proper one, because there might be some with the same name that are in 2 different states. So, okay, so I'm going to take a quick break now. Okay, the next item on the handout talks about what a major is. I've used that term a few times in this video already. And it says on the sheet, a major is a concentration of courses, usually 40 credit hours or so, could be more or less than that, in your major area of focus. A major can be slightly different than the name of the bachelor's degree. In other words, you could get a Bachelor of Science in Psychology with a biochemical major or something like that. So, again, or a Bachelor of Science in Biology with a microbiology major, and then what's maybe called a minor in genetics. And a minor is a smaller concentration of courses, and that's usually 3 or 4 classes, maybe 12, 16 credit hours or something like that. So that's when you hear the term major, it's basically your focus at the bachelor's degree level. So what we're going to do is under the academics tab, and almost all universities, when you go to their website, look kind of similar. They have a big picture at the front and these tabs along the top, and this might say, instead of future students, it might say admissions or apply or something like that. But they're almost all going to have one for academics. Now, right now, as I'm hovering over this, it might be hard to see on the video if you're looking at a smaller screen, but they have different schools and colleges. Okay, so big universities have sub schools or colleges, so don't be confused by that. But in this case, Oakland has a College of Arts and Sciences, a College of Business, or a business school as they're sometimes called, and then so on. And there's medical school and the nursing school and so on. All right. You can get to the specific academic programs usually a lot of different ways. If you know you want to go into business, but you're not sure what you want to do, you can click on the business school. Let's actually do that just because we talked about using accounting as an example. Okay. So we get to the business school site, and this still looks like it's the main Oakland site. We're still in Oakland University's website, but now we're at the School of Business Administration page. Okay. If you remember, I think I mentioned that we are undergraduate students. None of our students are looking for grad school yet, even though we have already had a few middle college high school graduates go on to earn master's degrees, or they're entering master's, in other words, graduate degree programs. So they've already earned their bachelor's degree. Anyway, so we are looking at undergraduate programs, and I see over here undergraduate majors and minors. I see over here undergraduate programs. So there's different ways you can click on. I'm going to click on this one over here. It just opens up a list of all the different majors and minors. We're talking about accounting, so let's click on that and see. So what we're looking for, number one, does it have the program that we want? And then we want to learn more about it. And some web pages, once you click on this accounting program, might have stories about students who graduated, what they're doing. So there can be a lot of information there. Oakland is pretty good about this, but some have more info than this even. So it lists a few common careers and so on. Okay. So this is for the accounting major, and then you have the accounting minor here. Remember how if you want to, get an advertising degree but have a minor in accounting, that's a good thing. So now, what are the course requirements? That's really where we're starting to get now to the nuts and bolts of what we need. Okay, so we're drilling down into these pages. Now here's a link for the major requirements. I click on this, and what we'll see is, and this actually looks kind of similar to an SC4 page, but it will kind of lay it all out as you scroll down. There's some pre-core requirements, and so in this case, these are courses you have to take before you actually get into the full accounting program. Okay, that totals 8 credit hours, and then there's required major courses, and there's 5 of them it looks like, although this last one it might just be a smaller, like meet with an advisor or something. There's no credit hours for it, but there's 4 courses here totaling 12 credit hours. And then there's a list of electives depending on what your area of interest is, and you can actually choose whatever courses you want to add up to 12 credits. Okay, so that's 32 credits. That's about 1 year. Okay. Now, along with that, there might be some general business school requirements that no matter what part of the business school you're taking, you need some general core business classes, possibly economics, something like that. So we'd have to look at that, and I'll show you how to do that. And then there's going to be the general ed requirements, and that's where the Michigan Transfer Agreement comes into play. Okay, but this is just the major requirements if you're majoring in accounting. Okay. I'm not going to dig too deep into this because we just could and it would take too much time. But I do want to show you something while we are on Oakland's site that they are very good at. And it's called looking for a transfer guide, or it's called a transfer guide. We're going to look for it. And we type in transfer guide into the search box. You can do this for any university. Now, they won't all have transfer guides, but Oakland I know does, and I'll show you how valuable they are. Wait a minute. I wonder if it's because I was in the business one. I know they have them. Let's do transfer credit, because I think they call theirs a program guide. So I type transfer credit, and then I get this is just a search result, so I'm going to click on transfer. It sounds like it might be what we want. And again, some universities have great transfer programs or transfer guides or program guides. And what's nice about them, as you'll see, is they're specific to each community college that you might be transferring from. Okay, so now we're on Oakland's transfer credit page, and I know just from experience that what we're looking for here is a program guide. Now, if you don't know how to find this and you're struggling and you try it, please contact us. Come on in and we can help you find it for whatever college you might be attending. They don't all have them, but if they do, we'll help you find them. Okay? So now I scroll down the page and all the community colleges are listed here because that's where students commonly transfer from. Here's the link for SC4, and now again it's the different colleges. So I'm going to go to the School of Business Administration, and in this case we're going. It's all majors, so accounting is going to be part of this. So I'm going to click on this. Now it opens up a PDF file. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit, but here's where you'll see all the business courses, the pre-business courses related to students going into any of the majors are listed here. Okay, so these will not probably be part of the accounting major requirements we looked at a bit ago. So what's cool about this is it lists the Oakland course, but then it also has the specific SC4 course you want. So in this case, you definitely want to finish English 102 with a C or better. This can be helpful. They require all their business students to have pre-calculus, and actually Calc 1, that's Math 114, and statistics, that's Math 120. So if you're going into a business field and you're going to Oakland University and many other schools, don't stop with the minimum math. Let's say you're pursuing an associate in arts and you say, I'm going to take Math 104 because it's the easiest to get to. Keep going. Look at what you need. It's much less expensive getting these classes as a middle college student or even a regular SC4 student than it is paying for them at Oakland University. Okay, there's 2 economics classes at OU. All right, the terminology, the letters have changed just this year. These are now econ at SC4, but both these courses are offered. CIS 115. Many of you have already completed that. That's required. A communications class, Speech 101. So there's a lot of courses that you can take that are accepted at Oakland in addition to the Michigan Transfer Agreement. And Oakland's Gen Ed requirements, in addition to those above, are all listed right here, but you don't have to worry about specifics. Did I have a foreign language at SC4? If you've done the MTA, all this goes away. I mean, you need it, but the MTA covers it all, okay? So keep that in mind. And then I believe it gets to the specific, well, no, it doesn't list the specific majors. Basically, we got those on that previous page. So you can see the benefit of a transfer guide because it lists specific SC4 courses. Okay, I'm going to do a quick pause here. Okay. Now we're going to wrap up in just a few minutes here. I want to show you another college website and take you through the same process because they're not all identical. This is Michigan State University at their homepage right now, the way it appears at this minute. And we're going to dig down again into the accounting degree. You could do the same for biology, the same for marketing, wherever your interests are. You're going to kind of use the same process to do this. Again, referring to the handout that you may not have seen yet, but we're actually making good progress through it. We've talked about what a major is, how to find the degrees and majors, and we'll do that one more time at MSU. And then looking at what will transfer from SC4 to the university program. Now, Oakland was easy because they have those transfer guides that specifically, go along with SC4 courses, and they tie them to degree requirements at Oakland. MSU does not have the transfer guides. Part of it may be this: they're so big. It's 2.5 times the size of Oakland in terms of the number of students, and probably a fair amount more programs offered. So we're going to see a little bit how to find the courses listed for the accounting degree, but it's up to the student to do a little bit more work determining what exactly transfers as those courses. So to do this now at MSU, again, this is their home page. I see the academics tab, which most of them have. In this case, it opens up a little drop-down menu, and again, you can look at academic programs catalog, major degrees and programs, the college website. So if you find their business school, that can get you there. There's a lot of ways to get there. I'm going to just say, all right, show me the academic programs catalog. And my guess is we'll be able to get to accounting one way or another. Okay, so here we are. If you remember that we are looking for undergraduate degrees, I can click over there. They have a business program. It's called the Broad Business Program, the Eli Broad College of Business. and the Eli Broad Graduate School, so we could click on that. But I'm going to go over here and click on undergraduate degrees. Okay. Now they're listed in alphabetical order, and we could sort them differently, but this works because accounting is the first one. So let's click on accounting and see what information it gives us. Okay, so now we've drilled down several pages and we're still going. We want to find out exactly what's required for the accounting degree. Okay, so this would be a Bachelor of Arts in accounting, if you will. And that would be the major, if you will. The term Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, they sometimes are similar. Sometimes you can get a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology or a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, as an example. The difference really is the science degree is going to have probably a little more scientific focus to it. The math might be a little higher level, and there may be a little more science research type classes as opposed to a Bachelor of Arts, but they're going to be similar. So I'm going to scroll down now, and there's this information about the Eli Broad College of Business. A lot of universities have named their business schools. We keep scrolling down, and I'll leave it up to you if you go there to read the requirements in general. But it says the following requirements for the major, and it says major field of concentration. Now, obviously, we're looking at accounting, so we see ACC there. That's their code. And it says all of the following courses you must complete with a minimum grade point average of 2.0, which is you have to get a C or better in the classes. So you will have to take all of these classes. Now, Intermediate Financial Accounting 1. Well, does Accounting 211 at SC4 fulfill that requirement? Maybe it does. Will it transfer? Probably, but we have to check on that because maybe that's beginning accounting and not intermediate. So we're going to have to check on that. So these will all be required. I'm going to keep scrolling down though. Now, we're seeing a whole nother list of credits or courses start to show up. Overall, you need 120 credit hours to get the degree. You hopefully will be bringing close to 60, if not 60 or more, with you from SC4. This really looks like gibberish, so I'm going to skip over a lot of this. But these are the types of courses that are all part of the can be covered by the Michigan Transfer Agreement. So that's why you want to try to complete the requirements for the Michigan Transfer Agreement, because all these detailed courses, we don't even know what they stand for right now. The MTA covers all these, so you don't have to worry about them. Okay, so all the way to here. Now, what you'll see is, as we scroll down, we'll start to see a little more the business courses, okay? And these, again, we want to see, does SC4 have a course called Preparing or something similar, Preparing for an Accounting Career? Maybe that's Accounting 189, I know that Accounting 211 and 212 are specific accounting courses, but so when you see these names and the codes, you want to look at the SC4 catalog for their business classes and see if anything applies. Okay. There are also some core classes like college algebra that should be the same as Math 113, and Survey of Calc 1 that would be Math 114, and so on. So a lot of these core courses can be taken at SC4 in addition to the Michigan Transfer Agreement requirements. Now, how to actually, see what ECC or EC 201 is at Michigan State, and then see if SC4 offers it. I'm going to do one quick lesson on that and then wrap this up. So EC 201, if you remember, we've showed you over the years the MichiganTransferNetwork.org site. Okay, and if you know you're going to Michigan State, for example, we're going to click on the search by the receiving institution, since it will be Michigan State. We find Michigan State over here on the left. There it is. And what was that one we were looking at? Let's see if I can get back to it. It was EC. Oh, goodness. I have too many tabs open. There it is. EC 201. Okay. So now we're going to go to EC. There should be one. This is the Michigan State code. I think it was 201, right? Whoops. Come on, you. It wants to scroll right by it. Darn it. Okay, there it is. Okay. And then hopefully St. Clair County Community College comes up here, and it does. That's good news. We click search and we say, what class is that? And Introduction to Microeconomics at SC4, that is Business 222. Now that's just changed to Econ 222 in their terminology. They changed that economics to Econ 222, and this will change here. But just so you know, that's one quick example of how to check to see which Michigan State course can be taken at SC4. Okay? All right, I need to wrap this up because you've been watching a long time and you've got a lot of the good information. On the handout, there's just a few things left to talk about, and one is, let's say you're thinking of Michigan State. It has the program that you want, but you're not sure how to arrange a visit. I'm going to see if we can find it real quickly. Under admission or new students or future students, if you click on that, there is usually, if we go to Office of Admissions, oh, I missed it. There's a visit link right there, but there's probably one here. Yep. So look for a link that says visit, and it will likely have a schedule, the different types of visit, and when they're offered, and usually you can sign up, right online and just tell them the day and the time you want the visit. They'll tell you how long it is. You get the full tour, and I strongly recommend you do that. Okay. The freshman perspective, the freshman admitted, a transfer student. This is interesting because you will apply as a freshman. That's the last quick part of this presentation. So I would say to actually schedule it with the freshman perspective, although you can always contact them and say, which one do you think? You're not admitted yet, but you can schedule a program and you just give them your information, okay? So visit the school if you can. The last thing, if any of you are going to apply over the summer, contact us. We're here most of the summer, all the summer really. Someone should be here and can help you through the admissions process. Few things to remember. You're applying as a freshman, okay? You're not applying as a transfer student, okay? That's how the schools in Michigan want you to apply when you're in a middle college. Your high school is the Blue Water Middle College Academy. Even though many of you are going to be walking in commencement ceremonies at your local high school, your school now is the Blue Water Middle College Academy. We're the ones that would send off your transcript. And if you get to that point, you submit the application and they say, now we need your transcript, just contact one of us and we'll lead you through the process of ordering it, or we'll send it there directly. That's about it. We'll focus on applying for college a lot more very early in the fall. Okay? So thank you.